Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of my video diaries. Today, I wanted to talk about people who feel that they're behind in life. And I feel like this is a very timely thing because it's something I've been dealing with, and it's something that I know a lot of my friends and people around me have dealt with. So, the first thing I wanted to say here that everyone is going through some kind of reinvention. What I mean by this is that I know people who are, for the first time, moving out, moving to a new city, and trying to gain a new community and start a new life because their old place wasn't serving them anymore. I know others who have lost their job. They are on the market and trying to look for the new career. And I know other people who are struggling in the jobs they want and maybe feel like this isn't the path for them. And then there's people who are getting out of long term relationships and having to start learning more about themselves again and what they truly like and dislike and what they're truly looking for in a partner. So everyone is always going through some kind of reinvention, some kind of change, and it happens at different times for everyone. So it would be almost stupid to compare, so it'd be unfair to yourself to compare you with people who you feel like are doing better than you, when in reality, they've had their own struggles and they may be doing good in one place in their life, but then struggling in another part, and you can't see the whole picture, so you wouldn't know that. I also believe that everything happens when it's meant for you, and all your past experiences have shaped who you are and led you to where you are right now. And you've had to endure trials to learn important lessons, and that's why it didn't happen for you sooner. Or maybe before you were too scared or incompetent, or just in the wrong place in life for certain experiences. And if you had achieved some of the things that you have or will achieve in the future, in the past, and in the old version of yourself, it's probably highly likely that that version of you would not have been able to handle that. It would not have been able to handle that level of success, and you might not have been able to thrive in those situations. Another thing is that it's never too late to start over and change, and it's only you who's stopping yourself. And you may be feeling stuck in your circumstances, but if you take a pause and look around, you might have a lot more opportunities than you realize, and you might have new wisdom or knowledge to help support yourself through these transitions. And an example from my own life is when I left my first job, I felt like it was going to be the end of the world because I had studied super hard in college and I had studied so hard for the exams to land me this position that when I got that first job, I was like, I made it. This is what everyone around me has aspired to achieve, and I am lucky enough to have achieved it. And it's true, I was lucky to get that job because, again, it led me to where I am now. But I realized as I was doing it that it was not meant for me. The environment, the culture just was kind of toxic for my mentality, and I would work long hours, and it just wasn't work that made me feel fulfilled. I don't think your work has to make you happy or your work defines who you are, but I also don't think your work should be hurting you, right? So that was a hard realization, especially when people around me told me to wait it out and try to get a promotion so that I would be more desirable in the job market when I was hunting for a new job. But internally, in my gut and my intuition was telling me that if I had stayed in that job any longer, I would have fallen deeper into, I guess, a darkness, which might sound really bad, but what I mean is I would have struggled even more and it would have been harder to get out of that. So I decided to trust in myself and take that leap, and I ended up getting a job in a place that made me feel more valued. Gave me more flexibility and time and allowed me to truly learn what I want to do and what my next steps are going to be. So, if anyone else is also feeling that way right now, I want to say, of course, be smart about it. Don't just dive into the deep end. Okay, the light was getting super dark, so I just turned it on. But what I wanted to say here is that if anyone else out there is dealing with a similar situation that I did, like, of course, be smart about it. Plan for it, take small steps, but don't overthink it and fall for this trap of analysis paralysis because that can really hold you back. So, really, the takeaway here is that there's no right or wrong time to hit certain milestones that society may set. There's only the right time for you. And Please always choose yourself, put yourself first, and have the trust and the faith that you are exactly where you're meant to be. So I'm gonna leave it there. I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day and week, and I will see you in the next video.